Good morning, Year 3. Welcome to our third reading lesson of the week. We will continue with character description. The ally today is to identify features of a character description. Let's begin our lesson by ensuring that you are ready to begin. So have your pencil, your pen ready, and a piece of paper. Use the pause button when you need to. So let's start with a recap. Number 1. He possesses a rapid healing factor and superhuman strength because of the goblin formula he created. What word is most similar in meaning to rapid? Number 1, slow. Number 2, happy. Number 3, electric. Number 4, quick. Number 5, green. He is as cunning as a fox and has cleverly developed a gas, so Spider-Man's spider sense can be slowed down. The word cunning suggests that Green Goblin is 1, strong, 2, sly, 3, fast, or 4, brave. Find one similarity between Green Goblin and Spider-Man. Is it 1, they both protect New York City, 2, they both have hidden identities, or 3, they are both brave? Number 4, find one difference between Green Goblin and Spider-Man. 1, Spider-Man has superhuman powers and Green Goblin does not. 2, Green Goblin wears a costume, however, Spider-Man does not. 3, Spider-Man is weakened by gas, however, Green Goblin is not. I'll count to 5. I'm pretty sure everyone's been able to keep up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's mark the questions that you've attempted. So number 1, rapid is a synonym for quick. Number 2, it is number 2, sly. Number 3, a similarity between Green Goblin and Spider-Man is number 2, they both have hidden identities. And number 4, the main difference between Green Goblin and Spider-Man is number 3. Spider-Man is weakened by gas, however, Green Goblin is not. How did you do? By now, you've probably built up a good factual knowledge about both characters, and hopefully your word meaning skills have picked up as well, so you're beginning to understand things much more clearly. So once again, the build up here is to Friday. So this Friday you will be writing a character description based on your very own villain. So we've been through this before. We're gradually building up. You're trying to magpie ideas. All the things that you read now and you've read last week should be able to take those ideas and magpie them and put them in your own writing. So Dima sent in her story, and I've just taken bits and pieces from her story. Can you see any of the features listed on the right hand side? Adjectives, expanded noun phrases, fronted adverbial phrases, adverbs, apostrophe for possession, conjunctions, similes and commas in the list. Can you see if Dima has used any of those features in her own writing? So Miss Compass Aka Delisha is a super incredible woman. He's the queen of direction. However, Miss Compass has a weakness. Whenever she feels sad or upset, her power will vanish. Luckily, she can get her powers back when she feels better. Have you seen any features that Dima has used in her writing? She's got a few there. Have you been able to identify them? And her last paragraph, her sworn enemy is Epic Kidnapper, who is trying to make a new invention. Unfortunately, he knows Miss Compass's weakness and uses it against her. Did you spot any features that appear on the list? You should now be able to recognize expanded noun phrases, adjectives, straightforward fronted adverbials. You know they can go at the front, at the beginning of a sentence, followed by a comma. And adverbs, most people, well, all people I saw do the adverb worksheet were able to select all the adverbs that started with or ended with ly. Conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions are conjunctions that everyone is able to use, and you just really want to up level now to subordinating conjunctions, so using because and when, and there are others which we will discuss tomorrow. So let's look at Hussein. He sent his story in very early, so I've copied parts of his story and reproduced them down below. Choco Man is a kind, brave and strongly built superhero, he is also the alias of Willy Wonka. Oh, I forgot to put a full stop there. Did you spot any of the features in that first sentence? There are features on the list that appear in Hussein's first sentence. Did you spot them? In the second sentence, he's written, he wears a tight white and black shirt, brown cape, a gold belt around his waist and arms and golden goggles on his eyes. So he has used a feature from the list. Did you spot it? I kept saying comma quite often. So yes, comma's in the list. And his last paragraph, Choco Man's mission is to make children who feel down happy. Amazingly, he is capable of answering calls of all kids in Harrow. He is as fast as a rocket. Did you recognize any features in the list? So some people may have recognized in Choco Man's mission an apostrophe for possession, because the mission belongs to Choco Man. Did you spot any commas, any fronted adverbials or adverbs? You should be able to recognize those naturally. And of course, the last sentence is it's a good use of a simile. So these are skills that you're trying to introduce and use in your writing often. So remember that features of character description, you need to use them as often as possible when you do your own writing. Let's move on. So the word of the day. His reflexes and coordination are heightened. Some people might see the root word in heightened because they've added ed to the end is height. Now heightened means to be fierce, intense or profound. It means to increase some kind of level of intensity or power. And the opposite of fierce, of course, is calm, mild, moderate. And if we put heightened in another sentence, we could have dogs have a heightened sense of smell. Of course, dogs are very, very useful. If you go to the airport, they use them at the airports because dogs have a very, very powerful sense of smell. People can have items in their bags and the dogs can still smell what's inside the bag. So they are gifted with a powerful or heightened sense of smell. So once again, this is a list you need to be familiar with. You need to know it because as you're writing, you want to apply these features to your character description. Right. Here we have key features of a character description. So we've got the Green Goblin paragraph. And you can see that in the first sentence, Green Goblin is a grotesque, greedy supervillain, but many people do not realize that his true identity is Norman Osborn. So I've highlighted grotesque and greedy That's an example of an expanded noun phrase. So they are adjectives describing the noun, and the noun happens to be Green Goblin. And Green Goblin is a proper noun because it's the name of a person. And then we have that simple coordinating conjunction, but. In the second sentence, too many people's surprise, I'll read that again. Too many people's surprise, comma. Norman is the father of Peter Parker's best friend, Harry. Well, to begin with, too many people's surprise, comma, that is a fronted adverbial. Not only that, but did you notice people's surprise? There's an apostrophe between the E and the S at the end of people's. That is an apostrophe of possession. So the surprise belongs to the people. And then we've got Peter Parker's best friend. So the best friend belongs to Peter Parker. So we have an apostrophe of possession. Have you used apostrophes of possession in your own writing? So remember it, they are useful. He possesses a rapid healing factor and superhuman strength because of the goblin formula he created. Well, we have there a subordinating conjunction, because. Most people, from what I've seen, are able to use this subordinating conjunction, because. And then the next sentence starts with surprisingly, ends in ly. It is an adverb, and it's also a fronted adverbial. Surprisingly, his strength is only marginally less than that of Spider-Man. His reflexes and coordination are heightened, so he can react quickly and effectively against his rivals. Well, so is written after a comma. So is a coordinating conjunction. And quickly and effectively, they both end in ly. They're very easy to spot. They are adverbs. They describe the verb. And then in the final sentence, his whole body is covered in a skin-tight, scaly suit that is as green as an emerald. Once again, that is a conjunction. And as green as an emerald, of course, it has as in it. You're comparing the colour of the suit to a green emerald. Now, over the next page, I'm going to show you the next slide. Your job is to look at this text, and then can you find these features? Write them down or highlight the text. So can you find any expanded noun phrases or an expanded noun phrase? Can you find a simile in there? Are you able to find a coordinating conjunction? Commas in a list, an adverb, or an apostrophe possession. Now I've put the worksheet on the website. It is headed the 24th 06/20, writing and identifying features of a character description. You can get this on the worksheet. Rather than write them out, you could just highlight or underline. If you see any expanded, or see at least one expanded noun phrase, just underline it or colour it. And then you can continue doing that. So colour it or underline it or circle if you see a simile or conjunction or commas in the list, adverb and so on. It'll save you having to write them out. So that will be your first task of the day. If you want to do it now, it's up to you. Press the pause button. I will continue. Right, here's a character description of, not the Green Goblin, that's a terrible mistake. It should be Ares. So that is a terrible, terrible mistake. And I should have really, and I'll just change it right now actually. So it's not a character description of the Green Goblin of Ares to begin with. So let's go back to our presentation. So now that looks better. I'm going to read it and then afterwards there's another piece that comes up. So we discover or find out about the supervillain Ares. So let me read it for you. Ares is a selfish, sinister supervillain and the most fearsome son of Zeus. He is Wonder Woman's #1 rival, even though he is her half-brother. As an enemy of the Justice League, he has an unquenchable thirst for conflict. It means he just carries on fighting. He just doesn't seem to want to stop. It is not a surprise that he is unpopular and disliked by many because of his bad temper. He is incredibly skilled in all forms of combat and fighting, as he is the god of war. Ares has numerous powerful, destructible weapons, including a warhammer that spits fire out like a dragon. Ooh, what did you notice there? He is notably stronger than Wonder Woman, but she is known to be faster. His whole body is covered in a steel-plated suit that is black as the night sky. Well, there you go. Did you spot any features of character description in there? There are plenty. So you need to get into the habit of spotting those when you're reading. In addition to this, he wears a helmet with horns that are as sharp as knives. One of his main aims is to try and prevent Wonder Woman's mission of peace and equality. As the god of war, he is extremely bloodthirsty and violent, and therefore is willing to wipe out anybody who stands in the way of his lethal plans. Ooh, wonderful vocabulary. To many people's surprise, Ares' greatest weakness is his arrogance and overconfidence. This is his downfall, as Wonder Woman is able to use her emotions of love and compassion to overpower and defeat him. Well, it's always good that if you have an enemy, it's useful to know what their weaknesses are. Let's move on to the questions. So you have this text above, and it says find and copy an expanded noun phrase in the first sentence. Now, the key part here is find and copy. Those are the key words, but also you need to take note of first sentence. We do not want expanded noun phrases from any other sentence. It has to be the first sentence. So that's part of your reading skill. Make sure you answer the question correctly. Question number 2, find and copy one simile in the passage above. Well, everyone knows what similes look like now, so that should be a very straightforward process. Question 3, as the god of war is an example of which feature? Number 4, the word extremely in the text above is an example of which feature? So think about the key features of character description. Remember, you need to remember them, but I've shown them already in the list. So we've got our spelling words, or the spelling rule that you need to remember. So first of all, forgot today. Forgot has 2 syllables. It has 1 vowel, second to last letter, ends with a consonant, and it is stressed. So got, forgot. So the got is stressed, so therefore we can apply the rule. When we add en, double the T, add en. We have a new word today from the list, prefer. So prefer has 2 syllables, so we have to think about the rule. It has 1 vowel, which is the letter E at the end, 1 consonant, ends with the letter R, and it's stressed. How's it stressed? If we say prefer, fur is the second syllable and it's stressed. So therefore we can apply the rule, double the R and add ed. And if we add ing, double the R, add ing. And it's always good to recognize the root word in the larger words. Now we have an exception to the rule. We have open. Open has 2 syllables. Now if we break it into its 2 sounds, op-n, the second syllable, n, is not stressed. So therefore, because it's not stressed, we do not double the n, we just add ing. Or, because the second syllable is not stressed, we just add ed. That's our rule. So remember your spelling strategy. These are not difficult, but I will be giving you others so that you can apply the rule. Good luck with your task. I look forward to seeing your work. Thank you to everyone who's been emailing the work in. You're doing a great job. I do very much appreciate everything that you're doing. Keep it up, and this afternoon is the final day that we can make recommendations for Emerald Awards, and normally by Wednesday we have a good idea of who is going to receive a gold certificate. So keep up with the great work. You will be rewarded. We are giving out, as normal, all the other certificates, rubies, and what's the other one? I can't remember. But look forward to reading your work. Take care for now. Bye.